I didn't say anything because it's, everybody put in that position where everybody's like, that was so much fun. And stuff. And you don't want to be like, yeah, it wasn't.
It was okay.
Yeah. It was the Addams Family.
Yeah.
Cartoon.
The Family. Shazam.
Well, it was Shazam.
Empire West.
I was going to say it, and then I was like,
Welcome, everybody, to
what's going on?
Another episode of the Tucker and the Beard Show.
Oh, I'm so tired. I'm like slouching when I fall asleep on the microphone.
We're experimenting with a little bit of a different camera today, so
I don't even know if I'm in frame. So
you're
welcome to everyone not seeing.
That's
me.
right. Again, in my continuous, gradual effort to edit him out completely,
I know.
I'm just moving the camera a little bit this direction every time.
Yeah, and then I'm like,
until he's gone.
Or is it some psychological thing where I just remove myself?
Maybe it is.
I just slowly back away.
He slowly fades into the background.
Have I told you my thought for my Halloween outfit, costume?
No.
Thing that if I do it.
Okay.
If I listen, just because it's Saturday.
Right.
It's if I get around to it.
Okay.
But knowing me well enough and the joke that we've had for quite some time, I think I'm going as Luigi. Just cause. No Mario. No Mario. Well, because I'm the Luigi of my family.
Right.
That is the inside joke of it, but it would just be me.
Hey.
Because I think I can just get a Luigi hat. That's...
Yeah.
The full Jim from The Office. If you order
that today...
Right.
From Amazon, it'll be here by the weekend.
Right, and I think it's one of those hats that I would probably wear...
Just cause?
Other times as well. Like at family events. Fair or enough. Something. But
or something.
I don't know, but I'm like, all right. I'm not going to go full, ridiculous outfit.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, this is my costume. It's a step up from a shirt that just says, this is my Halloween costume.
Right. Well, one year I took this was my personal favorite of my own Halloween costumes of all time. Because I took a t-shirt, and on that t-shirt I wrote, "Hi, my name is Life." And then I walked around with a bag of lemons and occasionally handed them out to people.
Life gives you lemons.
Yeah. Do with this what you will.
Fantastic.
It was
very clever. It
was the most meta Halloween costume I've ever participated in.
Yeah. It's that's very clever. I've never been one to get inventive with costumes or anything like that.
I'm probably just never go been Silent Bob again.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I'll probably go as Jay. I don't know, but Halloween's never been. I enjoy Halloween. I don't have anything against Halloween.
Right.
It's just never been one of those holidays I've gone
super overboard with.
Hard in the yard with. I don't know.
And
I've enjoyed it more since having kids. I think, and just having that, and now they're at the ages of.
I had fun with it when I was a kid, right. But I'm not gonna be the person who goes super overboard decorating the yard.
We know some people that it's oh my gosh, it's Halloween season. Yeah. I've never been that way.
I love scary movies, right. So that's what I get into around this time of year. Mm-hmm. Is now it's time to start watching the scary movies.
Yeah.
I'll watch them all year long.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. But it just feels, October 1st hits and it's ooh.
Now, question, because
scary movie time.
You are quite the fan of this movie, and I have grown to like this movie.
Okay.
Which is Nightmare Before Christmas.
One of the greatest movies of all time, yes.
Now, is it a Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Okay.
So it is the seasonal film that has the longest season.
That's what I'm saying. But in your mind, is it more of a Halloween movie or is it more of a Christmas movie?
It's pretty equal.
Okay. You watch it both times?
Absolutely. I've watched it twice already this year.
Okay.
I think I've
watched it. I've watched it once, and I've wanted to watch it again because I missed out. It was just it was on,
right,
and you're doing different things, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's the end of the movie. I missed a big chunk of it.
That movie for me, it first and foremost, it's the music that
very good music.
Me. So I think I mentioned this last week. It is not unheard of to where I'll just, when I'm driving around, I'll just throw on the soundtrack on Spotify while I'm just driving from, in between appointments or driving to and from work. I just really like the music.
Right.
They really knocked it out of the park with that.
I agree.
And then I just have such a deep appreciation for true, well done stop motion animation.
And it is the pinnacle. It is, to me,
it is the mountaintop.
Yeah, it is the mountaintop. Absolutely. That it's like there's no doing better than how they did it.
No.
And kind of, and I've watched some behind the scenes stuff.
It's the pinnacle of the art form.
It was so. It makes you respect it once you kind of dig into how they had to do it, because it wasn't done on like computer.
No, and so that's what you see. Like you'll see newer stuff that looks like it's stop motion animation
when it's not,
and it's not. It's computerized animation that's made to look
right, which was probably a quarter of the work.
Now, yeah, I was going to say computer animation has its own special place in my heart for sure, right. And it's very time consuming for different ways, but there's just that magic when you know that literally
every frame
is a photo.
Yeah. And it's
every frame, every facial expression required insane attention to detail.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it.
Well, and when I was a kid and that movie came out, I think I was in junior high.
It came out in 93.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So I was in junior high. And people were, as time has gone by, people have gotten more into the love of that movie. But even when I was a kid and everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I didn't really get it.
Right.
And at the time, I was like, okay, cool. Like, it was cool, but I'm like, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Tim Burton. But that started from a very early age. No. It just wasn't as big of a fan. But as I've gotten older, appreciating that when people got it a long time before I did.
Well, see, I fell in love with it as a child for the movie.
Right.
Or for the music, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And as an adult, though, where it kind of turns a corner for me is it's the story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've always loved the story, but you gain a new appreciation for the story as you get older, I think.
Right.
Because it's that, hey, man, be happy with what you have.
Right.
Like, be grateful for what's right in front of you instead of always feeling the need to chase more.
100%.
More, and sometimes chasing more is a great thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
We do that every day in our business.
If you are unhappy where you're at,
you're not going to be happy over there.
Right.
Like that change, it's internal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I love about it is it's that message,
right?
That reminder that, hey, the grass is pretty freaking green right here.
Mm-hmm. So you're happy here. Stop trying to change things to or whatever. But like you said said it better than I did. The grass isn't always greener. It's pretty green right here.
Yeah, the grass is greener where you water it.
Yes. And then I think as I've kind of gotten older, it's we already touched on it, the artistry of it, the actual
as
artwork.
My interests expanded. Not
the cinematography.
The villain was a little over the top, though, don't you think? No, but just learning about that and having more of a passion and appreciation for creating film.
Yes.
And it's really cool. Like I said, I fell in love with it for the music, but now knowing how much work really went into it.
Right.
I think that I mentioned a few weeks ago that I have never watched, never really been big on like bonus features that came on DVDs and things like that.
Right. Which I am very...
And you're huge into that.
Yes.
And like occasionally I'll watch like a deleted scenes, you
Right.
know, but I don't listen to director commentary tracks, you know, and things
It all
of that
depends.
nature.
Yeah, it all depends on if I want to actually listen to them
Absolutely
talk.
did this.
Yeah. Well, no, and it's...
Absolutely did it.
Like, I will fully watch that if it's a movie I love. You know, like, if I am just like, I want to hear them talk about how they made this movie.
Right.
And so it's not every movie that I'll pop in the commentary or something like that, but, you know, some of them I will and go watch the making of, and that's one of those kind of fascinating things to hear about. But I just wanted to be like, is it more of a Halloween, or is it more of a Christmas, or is it both? And first of all, I think I'm going on my rant. There needs to be more Thanksgiving movies.
Sure.
There just there just needs to be more. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know. Like, I give us a couple minutes, and I'm sure we can think of something. But
Trying to think of like.
But they had that like that
Thanksgiving movie.
But they had that like Freebirds that was like the CG of like the turkey going back in time, and that's like clever. So there is some.
There are some. Most of them end up being like rom-coms, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like bring in the girlfriend or the boyfriend to meet the family.
Home, or you know, male lead goes home for Thanksgiving for the first time and
can't get there, and you know,
so
chaos ensues.
Yeah,
I'm with you, and I don't know the perfect answer, but I'm like, okay, there's tons of Halloween movies. You know, probably more. If you were to make a graph, if there's more Halloween movies or if there's more Christmas movies.
Well, I guess it really depends. I think it really depends on what you are going to define as a Halloween movie. Because a scary movie is not a Halloween movie.
Correct.
A horror movie does not equate to...
Doesn't always do that.
In fact,
so that's
mostly
true.
Doesn't.
So that's true.
There are just as many horror movies, I would say, that are made in like the Christmas setting.
Okay.
As there are for specifically the Halloween
All right,
setting.
so let's put in the scary movies / Halloween movies.
Okay.
Compared to just Christmas movies.
Way more Halloween.
That's what I was going and that's where I was thinking with it.
Wow.
If you took out the scary and just did like Halloween, I think Christmas would take it.
Yeah. But if you're talking about movies that are specifically Halloween themed,
right? Christmas
would
smoke it
by a large factor.
Yeah.
But if you're just lumping all horror movies,
right? Like then it would. I think that there would be more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just a weird thing that I was thinking about. I'm like, all right.
You know. But then that introduces, and you know, this isn't the season for it, but it introduces the Die Hard conundrum. Which
we need to talk about Die Hard.
We will.
I know. I was like...
In December.
No. The new Die Hard thing that came out. Somebody that does not...
I'm refusing to acknowledge it. How about that?
Okay, so you've seen it.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
And I want currently nothing to do with it.
Interesting. Okay, so those that don't know, and I need to make sure we're talking about the same thing right now. It came across the news. I guess Bruce Willis did something in the Twittersphere.
Mm-hmm.
He did a tweet of being John McClane again, and I got everybody stirring, saying, "Oh, there's going to be a new Die Hard movie. He's coming back.
Right.
John McClane is coming back," which isn't always a good thing. Listen, it's like the Fast and the Furious franchise that they've just... I think the last Die Hard movie, he literally jumped off a building. And it was like, no, man, at some point you need to stop being Superman.
Can you not?
Yeah, please. It's gotten kind of ridiculous, but it got everybody excited for a new Die Hard movie, and then it came out that it was a Die Hard battery commercial.
Yes. Which is kind of like that thing that Ryan Reynolds did with Rick Moranis, where it's like, Rick Moranis steps in front of a camera for the first time in 25 years, and it was for a commercial.
Right.
For Ryan Reynolds,
which was great.
Cell phone company that he owns?
Handled so much better than.
Right.
I mean, it was
he makes
clever.
Gin. He owns a cell phone company. What doesn't Ryan Reynolds?
No, he is a marketing genius.
Well, sometimes I ask myself, because I feel like I get too busy sometimes.
Right.
And then I remember that Ryan Reynolds owns a cell phone company and a gin company and
Ryan Reynolds.
Like some people, I make a lot of videos for the YouTubes,
right.
Between this channel and personal channels and client work and things like that. Like I make a lot of videos.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh, it's too much.
Right.
And then like there's one particular YouTuber that I enjoy his content, and he's got several different channels that cover completely different topics.
Right.
And I'm like, and he's like, between all of his channels, cranks out an average of 2 videos a day. That are over 15 minutes long, most of them.
So he's just doing videos nonstop.
Yeah.
Right.
And kind of like we have here in the Rockstar Studios. Yeah. He's got like different sets, and it's literally just boom,
which is really
turn the camera, boom. Yeah. He's on a different set, boom, turn the camera. And it's
which is like, I mean, kudos to us or something, but that was kind of our dream to be able to do.
Right.
And so we literally just walked from one set into this set.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of
later
cool.
This week I'll be in a different set.
Right. And then we'll be back in that set and doing different things, and I've recorded stuff in that set.
Right.
And this set.
Like we have
this set, and it's
pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Like, we're just taking a minute and just going, hey,
to appreciate it. Like
we're doing
things.
We've been in different sets which looked cool, and we've personalized the other ones more and stuff like that, and then came into this one and kind of brought it. It's just a different feel, but it's why we did what we did.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if you just can't get enough of Tucker and the Beard, we have a new show, so to speak, that we just launched last week. Mm-hmm. That's a lot more. It's live.
Which is scary.
Which is terrifying, if you've ever met us. And
especially when you see like this little live thing flashing.
It is.
And it's like we're not supposed to be starting yet. And we're like, well,
guess we started anyway.
Yeah. You got a little uncut.
No, so this one is hyper Prescott focused.
Right.
And it is with our actual business partner.
Yes. Mr. Josh Rice.
So yeah, you should check that out sometime. Yes.
So cuz we
have a real business. with our good friend and partner Josh, and we sell houses with that business, which is what funds literally every other business venture that we've got going on right now.
Which we love doing, and then we do all this to, on the side, but to hopefully get our names out there.
Yeah, and we do everything to fuel everything else, and it's a pretty cool symbiotic relationship that everything's got going on. So yeah, check out the Rockstar Group on Facebook or on YouTube, and you can see our we call it the Monday Morning Hangover. We help you get back into the week after a long weekend. Some news, just three friends who love doing what they do, but that one's pretty localized to what we're doing here in the Prescott area. So if you're from out of the area and just kind of want to know what's going on around here, maybe you're thinking of moving to the Prescott area.
Wink. I love how I say wink and then you did it and make the sound.
Yeah. Again,
that's how symbiotic
teamwork
it is.
Makes the dream work.
But yeah, should I say it? I know it's a video that you're working on, but prior to.
Yeah.
I'll let you say it, so you just throw it out there.
Well, which one? Because I have a lot of projects in the air
right now.
The one
that's
but I have some
Halloween.
I have some hard deadlines coming up this week. So, we have this is our sort of, Halloween episode of the podcast.
Yes.
But we have a episode of Cruisin' coming out on Friday.
On Friday.
That,
You heard it here, folks.
We did a thing. No, so we went on a... I think we're not supposed to call it a ghost hunt.
I know. I keep on saying ghost hunt, but it's not... Yeah. An actual ghost hunt. It was an investigation.
It was
a paranormal investigation.
There you go.
How does that sound?
This guy knows.
Sounds proper.
This guy knows what's up.
We went with the Prescott Paranormal and Beyond.
And Beyond.
I kept on getting that wrong. Prescott Paranormal and Beyond group to the former Smoke Eye Museum, now the Museum of Indigenous People.
And we went looking for stuff and things.
Yeah, it was fun. It was interesting.
It was a thing that we did.
Yes. Yes.
No, I mean, and I don't mean that I'm not saying that to mean that it wasn't fun. It was very interesting. It was an interesting experience that we had.
So we haven't talked about this next subject. And listen, I might get suicided through our studio window for mentioning this right now.
Okay.
Because I feel like I stumbled onto something. I had a conversation with somebody the other day that while I was showing houses, somebody showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going on like 3 years cancer-free.
Okay.
Right? And so what you normally is... And they were given like a month to live.
Okay.
Right? They went in, month
to live.
It's
a big turnaround.
3 years later, cancer-free. Right?
Solid.
They kicked it when they weren't supposed to.
Right.
So you naturally ask the question, what'd you do? Right? And they're like, hey, it was almost like they're like, so I talked to a guy in an alley of thing. Like,
yeah. Did they go skydiving?
No.
Rocky Mountain climbing?
No.
Did they go 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu?
For a guy that does not like country music,
that's a classic, though. That's a classic, though.
Yes. No. So sitting there talking to him, they go, hey, talk to this group, of people on like Facebook or something like that. They started taking dog dewormer. Cleaned it out. Dog dewormer.
Huh.
I've not been able to get it out of my head since. That's like, yep, there's this large group and it's becoming more popular and stuff like that. And everybody that does it like it.
That is
what do you have to
very
lose?
Curious. Right.
I mean,
you are given 30 days to either literally live or die trying.
Right.
Try everything. Listen, if cocaine would get, there was a shred of credible evidence saying, listen, I know this sounds kind of weird, but I've got
do a line a day.
I've got 1,000+ people who they made no other changes, but yeah, they did one line of cocaine a day, and they were cancer free.
Right. Like, listen, it's
get me Escobar's phone number.
Like, it's either going to cure you, or you're going to go out an addict.
Right.
I mean, but dog dewormer, and it was life changing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so I'm just
so very different from what my game plan would be when given that diagnosis.
Right, and we've talked about that, and it's been very similar. But I mean,
I don't know. I'm
just throwing it out there to anybody. Like,
check it out.
Check it out.
What's it called?
And let me know.
What's the dog dewormer? I imagine it's got to be a specific type.
I don't know if it has to be a specific type.
I know segment on the Tucker.
I know they mentioned it. I'll look it up. I'll look it up for the name that they gave it. I'd know it if I saw it, but it was like my brain kind of shut down that she, and they were just like, hey, just so you know.
Like, how'd you kick your cancer?
Dog dewormer.
I went to the vet.
Right. Went over to the local pet shop and was like, hey, I'm doing this. And I guess they had like high blood pressure and stuff like that. And it was a good side effect. They were on multiple like blood pressure and stuff medicine. Yeah. It cured.
Kicked that too.
They started having issues because they were taking all of that plus the dog dewormer. So they had to cut back on the other medicine because it So I'm just throwing it out there to everybody listening of why not, and yeah, let us know.
That's
gonna be my first
listen,
stop. That's gonna be my first stop. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm stopping by PetSmart real quick.
Yeah.
Like getting my
Give it a
medicine.
shot. You know, I mean,
but it's
I firmly believe that there are alternative medicines available that for one reason or another, we're just not. Listen, I don't know if somebody just decided not to test this particular medication to see if it was effective in fighting certain types of cancer. In the world that we live in, I'm not surprised by anything anymore.
Right.
And I'm also not surprised that, listen, Pfizer makes a lot of money on cancer treatment drugs.
Right.
And I'm guessing if this is like most dog medications,
you're going exactly what I was going to say.
It ain't
next.
expensive,
right?
In comparison to what human medicine costs.
Yeah,
and so they don't want that word to get out. Listen, that doesn't surprise me. Like I said, this is our new tinfoil hat segment on the Tucker and the Beard program.
Can we start doing that now?
Yeah.
No, and that's what because that immediately piqued my interest, and so you start asking more questions, and like, what did the doctors say? Like, were they like blown away that it's just gone, and you're still around kicking it? And they're like, well, when they finally revealed to the doctor or whatever, like, hey, this is what I did, then go, yeah, we've kind of known about that for a while, but there's no money to be made,
right?
So I'm doing my part right now.
Right. Public service announcement time on the Tucker and the Beard show.
This is just my thing of, hey, give it a shot.
It's so I don't know if I've told this story.
If I don't make it to next week,
right?
You all know why.
If we don't make it,
I'm spreading the word.
It's been a super sweet.
I just can't stop thinking about it.
People.
I just can't get it out of my head of like, hey, dog dewormer.
All right. Well, that's a new rabbit hole I'm going to chase down later.
You're welcome.
But no, because like my whole plan, were I to, and I've said this to, I don't know how many people. And if I've told the story on the show before, I'm sorry, but we have more listeners now, so I'm going to tell it again.
We have talked numerous times about it.
So if that news came down to me, the first thing I'm going to do is go, all right, family, take one last road trip. Just blow it out, have a good time. Mm-hmm. Phase 2 of the final plan is I'm going to take one pocket knife and I'm going to charter a helicopter to the middle of grizzly bear country. I'm going to walk around until I find a grizzly bear. I'm going to punch that grizzly bear in the face. I'm going to fight the bear.
There you go.
Because if my kids have to tell a story about how their dad died.
Right. He fought a grizzly bear. I would
rather they say, yeah, he fist fought a grizzly bear and died.
Right.
Doing that, then he got a brain tumor.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, at least give the kiddos a good story to tell their friends.
Yep.
It would make the news so that, they could be fact checked.
Right.
That's gonna get coverage.
Well, and we've discussed it, but like you'd have to video it.
Oh yeah, and listen, in the slimmest of slim chances that I come out ahead of this fist fight.
Right.
And then the cancer still kills me. Oh well.
Right.
That's not the narrative anymore.
Bucket list.
Be like, so this cancer patient fights a bear and wins.
Right.
And then dies of cancer.
Right.
Doesn't matter though, because I fought a bear and won.
Right. You went out on that note.
Yeah. I want a hoodie. I want a hoodie that's like the hood is the top of the bear's head. Like I got teeth coming in my eye lines.
Yes.
That would be, again, that's the move. That's the way. That's the way to go.
I hear you. But
otherwise, you just died of cancer, which happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But I'm like,
not many people go out fist fighting a bear.
I'm just like, hey, all those people out there that are fighting the fight, try this thing.
Right. Absolutely.
Let me know, because I feel like I'm like, did you just tell me like the secret? And I know the secret now.
Right.
But nobody wants the secret to get out. And here I am. I'm like,
here
hey,
you are.
This is it. So,
dude, I gotta speaking of Halloween, I don't even know if I can show this on.
This is Halloween
on screen.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna show it to you.
Okay.
Because Halloween costumes can get really intricate, right?
And I give those people like
and sometimes
the most credit.
Yeah, I always appreciate when somebody goes above and beyond with a Halloween costume. I think it's really great.
Right. The same with like cosplay.
But sometimes you know they've gone too far.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you this picture.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss whether or not I splash this picture on the screen.
Okay.
Later.
Okay. Otherwise, this is just an inside joke between the two of us.
And it's going to be funny. So here's...
Yeah. Okay.
Possibly,
I feel like you're about to prank me. Like it's going to be a picture of you like flipping the bird or something like that. You're like, dude, check this out.
No. This might be the most intense Halloween costume I've ever seen in my life.
Oh. I'm gonna vote no.
Too soon?
It's.
Will it all? Here's the question that poses: is will it always be too soon?
I think it'll always be too soon.
Okay.
Like, at a certain level of appreciation for someone's humor, because
right? We know we go dark.
You know that, like,
we go real dark.
Yeah,
sometimes
you and I can, and
that is the
real
darkest Halloween costume I've ever seen in my life.
Like, credit to them, just for imagination purposes.
Right. Would that get you canceled in 2020?
Yes.
You think so? You think this? I know that nobody listening, like they're like, oh, I need to see it. I need to see it. And
listen, it's a part of history.
Find me on the streets.
Yeah,
I'll show it to you.
Let me try and describe it. Like, it's a major historical event.
Yes.
That has happened. That was a dark part of.
It's not one of America's high. It's not on the highlight reel.
Yeah, unless we're like speaking of conspiracy theories,
right?
And
well, that's actually where. And
I'll just say it's the reason the president doesn't drive around in a
drop top anymore.
Yeah. So I'm saying it what it is without saying what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was just we were talking about conspiracy theories, and that reminded me that I had seen that picture the other day.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing with Halloween that I'm just like
you can get really, I mean,
people can get really good with it, or it's just
listen. Again, it's a deep, like, right. You got to look at it and go,
that's not okay.
Again, like my life handing out lemons.
That's clever.
That was one. It was kind of a deep joke.
Filter, no filter, which was just
So my wife and I dressed up in matching outfits a couple of years ago, and the costume idea was, this is me with a filter because she's actually attractive,
right?
And so that was funny.
I thought it was backwards, but okay, yes.
How dare you?
No, I get it now. I was sitting there just going filter because right.
Is all of this.
I see what you're saying now. Yes. No, I get it. I was just in my head. I was flipping it for some reason. And then my wife and I have never.
Our couple's costume was you and I, which is a little weird,
but makes.
I mean, it
complete
worked.
Sense.
Yeah.
And we weren't like together.
Not
so we were
the
just
whole
separate.
Day. Yeah, we were just
partial.
Yeah, we were in the same place a couple of times during the day. But,
right. Which is our lives. Where we're just like, hey, I'm running around doing 20 things today.
So we can get this out of the way. We
went
as Jay and Silent Bob last year.
I was just going to let it hang there.
People are like, what was their couple's costume?
Nice new shirt, by the way.
You like that?
It's very nice. So I got to figure out, I got to get a new sticker for the Tucker Mobile.
Yeah?
Yeah, our faces are starting to not look.
Yeah, it's been on there for a little over.
A little chipped away.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna write it out and just see, even if it just ends up being like the outline or something. I think
mine the ring is starting to chip away.
I think my ear.
Too many trips to the automatic car wash.
And your mustache is starting to. You have like a half stash.
Half stash.
Yeah.
Is it only going away on the edges?
No, because I would definitely leave
It's not
that.
leaving me with a Hitler mustache?
100%.
Well, I appreciate you not taking that off your car if I end up looking like Hitler.
Bringing it back? Yeah. So, I don't know, man.
Ugh. Well...
yeah. Not a whole bunch of crazy news.
Recommendation. It's been out for a couple of weeks. So,
okay.
If we're late to the game, we're late to the game. But in 2018, Netflix had an original series, The Haunting of Hill House, I believe. And it was great.
You want to hear some news? Haven't seen it.
That's fine.
I don't have it.
But as not a sequel, but a follow-up to that, this year they released The Haunting of Bly Manor. And it is awesome.
Fantastic. So
if you're looking for something to kind of these are both limited series, so there's like 10, 12 episodes and then they're done. So if you're looking for something for a week-long evening binge leading up to Halloween, I definitely give that my recommendation.
I have a movie on my list which is one of like my favorite movies as a kid.
Netflix is coming out swinging right now.
I know. No, I have something on the. I'm gonna try and get done before Halloween because otherwise I've meant to do this watch this movie, like wipe the dust off and watch this movie for the last couple years, and I haven't done it. I haven't committed to it, and then it's past Halloween, which is Monster Squad. I don't know if you ever do. You remember do you remember this movie?
I think so.
It's just like Goonies, but Halloween. Like all the monsters, show up and they have to fight all the monsters, and it's a humorous, and I don't know if it's gonna hold up. So
I'm interested. I'm
committing to that, but and then I'm like, I don't know if I don't remember how appropriate it is.
There's just I've been
to do that because again, like the conversation my wife and I talk about all the time. We were allowed to watch movies as a kid that are not
they're not okay.
They're not okay. Why were we allowed to watch this? We watched Beetlejuice.
Oh, I know.
The other day, and it was, my wife was like, I was 6 watching this, and there's like beheadings, and there's like
6, wasn't she? I don't know, but yeah, like even I
remember. I'm questioning my wife right now.
Throwing out the challenge.
Listen, she has a memory that is insane. And so I'm sure I would be willing to put money, not even knowing. I would put money on the fact that she's probably right.
She's right. I thought that one came out early 90s.
No.
But no, it actually did. Now that I'm looking at it, it actually predated Michael Keaton as the Batman.
Yeah.
Which
that's 89 Batman. Talk. Which I heard a rumor the other day.
Did you?
I'm going to put my reporter cap on.
I heard a rumor.
There's talks. There is talks of him not only returning as Batman for the Flash movie.
I've seen it.
But
on
the
an HBO series.
Newest thing is Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Coming back, which is I would pay for HBO Max at that point. That's I'm getting a new thing. Because that could be amazing.
We do a thing where we read a book out loud as a family each night. Mm-hmm. And right now, again, Halloween time, we are reading The Witches by Roald Dahl.
Yes.
And
which creeped me out as a kid. I enjoyed it for some reason.
Yeah. But there's they remade, so they made it into a movie.
Yep.
And they're remaking it into a movie that's going to be launching on HBO Max.
Yes, which I heard is getting some mixed things, but I think that's just depending on how hard in the yard they go with it, because the kid, that was Angelica Houston and her witch.
Right. Well, we just rewatched Addams Family. Speaking of, and loved that.
Yeah. Which I think they
for
did
like
really
my personal lead up, week leading up to Halloween viewing. I'm gonna rewatch Silence of the Lambs again because I love that movie. And then Zodiac is on Netflix right now.
Fantastic. Speaking of the
And
Addams
that's a killer
Family,
one.
I did hear in Tim Burton news, he's bringing it back.
Yeah,
TV. He's bringing it back to TV.
really.
Yep. He's gonna bring it back as a series.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Interesting to see what he does with it, because if he goes full Burton,
It could be when he goes full Burton. It can either be really good or it can be really
right?
interesting.
It could be Nicolas Cage's Superman.
There's a hold on though.
Okay.
Speaking of,
Nicolas Cage's Superman.
no. I
Okay.
saw something regarding Mr. Cage in a movie that he's going to be in coming up.
He's coming out with some that are just Nicolas Cage in full
No.
Nicolas Cage mode.
Well, and this is it. This is it.
The Jiu-Jitsu one?
No. I don't know if it's jujitsu, but
I'm
this
going to have to show you
is
the trailer for Jiu-Jitsu.
it's in filming right now,
Okay.
and it is titled "The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent," where it's
Is this the one where it's Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
I don't.
It's like the
I've read
Nicolas
something
Cage story as told by Nicolas Cage,
starring.
written and directed by. It's not written and directed.
That'd be
by
fantastic.
Nicolas
No,
Cage,
but there's like 5 layers to it. That it's
Yeah.
like Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage.
Strapped Nicolas Cage agrees to make a paid appearance at a billionaire superfan's birthday party, but it is really an informant for the CIA since the billionaire fan is a drug kingpin and gets cast in a Tarantino movie. Like, that is the plot of, and I mean, think about, like, we all know that Nicolas Cage is supremely not self-aware.
Right.
But then to sign on to a movie where you are playing you, and the title of the movie is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
It's just because Nicolas Cage in his prime came out with some
bangers, yeah,
some banger movies that I will still sit down and watch.
I will still sit down and watch Con Air.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Face Off
Will forever be in my top, at least my top 20. Yeah. I love that movie.
On Gone in 60 Seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I love The Rock.
Like, I use that
love The
Memphis
Rock.
Reigns move almost every day.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like,
fantastic movie.
it's a part of who I am now.
Yes. You were gone in beard seconds. Yeah. I don't know. I forget if it was last week, but we got news of, I guess they firmly put a date, the ending thing for the Fast and the Furious.
Yes, there will only be 2 more movies.
Is it 2 more after this one?
No, like the one that's coming out.
No, I thought there was 11.
Or so 3 more.
So three more. They'll come out with 9.
And all I have to do.
Then there's 2 more.
All I have to say about this matter.
Take Old Yeller out to the barn.
Thank you for stopping the punishment.
But what are we going to get? I've already seen they're going to space. I've already seen that they are going to space.
Because
why not?
At a certain point in time, all right. So started with this.
It started with the building jump.
No. Just hear me out.
I'm listening.
Let's go back to the origins. Let's go back to the roots here. Okay, we start with cars that aren't supposed to be fast being made very fast.
Right.
And that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to graduate from there, right? And then they're just now they're just souping up muscle cars. Great. Big jump to tanks and military vehicles.
Huge.
Right?
Right. Skydiving. Is that the same movie or was that the next one?
I'm just saying, like, there's been an amplification of the grandiosity of the vehicles that they're using in order to have these magnificent capers that they engage in.
Right.
So of course it's got to go to spaceships.
Like,
Of course it does.
fantastic.
I swear on everything that I love and all things that are good and holy.
Oh, we'll watch this movie.
First of all, of course we will. Second, if Fast and the Furious 11 doesn't involve time travel, I quit everything.
Oh, 100%. And then they just
Because
start.
that's where you have to go. They're jumping up to space travel now.
Right. Then they have to go to time travel.
Bring back Spillner.
They go back to race wars.
Right.
They have to rescue.
They got to go back to the desert.
They have to
Fast
rescue-
and the Furious 11, back to the desert.
Fast in time travel. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll come up with something clever. But they have to. What was the one kid that died in that? Jess.
Yeah.
They have to save him. That's the whole. So they have to go back.
Well, they've already proven that they can bring back Mr. Spillner
yes.
through the use of his brother and
Right.
computer graphics.
Right.
So you have no excuses.
Right.
I want time travel. Cap it off. You're obviously ridiculous.
Right.
And you have to know this by now.
Just embrace
because
it.
Nicolas Cage has nothing to do with this film franchise, and nobody can be. There
John
can't
Cena
be,
is in the next one.
but there can't be two groups of people that are that supremely unself-aware.
Right.
So if you're gonna jump the shark, and you already have, but you're just gonna keep jumping it,
Right.
then give us some sweet stunts as you're jumping over that shark
Right.
for the last time. Please
Time travel.
put a flux capacitor in the back of a 1992 Toyota Supra.
Do it. And it's not 88 miles an hour. It's 200.
It's 188 miles an hour.
We have to hit 200.
Right. On a city street.
And I do have to say,
Hey.
I called it.
Hey,
What?
he tried that already. Didn't work out well for him.
Oh. Okay. Moving on. That's two. That's two. I'm giving you two.
Two dark references. One that's
And
been
you
hidden
kn-
from the audience.
You know I will do those jokes all day. But yes, here and now. No, but I did call it because I've been saying for the longest time to bring back Zachary Ty Bryan from Home Improvement fame as a villain. Right?
Well,
And we're just like, oh, I don't know if he could pull it off. Well, I think he's a little tied up at the moment. Yeah, he got arrested for domestic. Correct? Is that what you're
Yes.
looking up? I don't know when you're
I was
doing that.
I was actually looking up and I was looking up a timeline real quick, but and I stumbled upon
It won't
a
matter
movie
anymore.
from 1954. It is
Called
also titled The Fast and the
yes,
Furious.
they copied that. Much like the plot of Point Break. But it's fine.
Title from one movie, plot of another.
That's what Hollywood is now.
It is.
You know,
We have original ideas all the time. But even those, I'm sure we're drawing from some sort of inspiration that
Right.
maybe we're not even aware of. But the fact of the matter is they should hire us to write all their movies.
Well, we did it for
Or
a
at
whole
least come up
entire
with premises.
day where you and I both trolled my dad.
Yeah, and it was great.
And we came up using this, like...
We took one premise and made like 7 or 8 movies out of it. Like we
Just that
came up
one.
with 8 plot lines from one premise.
From one premise. And
Yeah.
I didn't find out until later on that he believed them to be actual movies.
That is fantastic.
And so he was wanting to know more, like...
Like, where can I rent these?
Where, like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to go to Blockbuster. I'm like, can't do that, Dad. No, but he believed them to be actual movies. Because I was just sending text messages. So
We did the thing.
we did the thing.
We made it happen.
So
Oh, man.
off to our next show.
Yeah, off to our next adventure, I suppose, for today. Yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Enjoy yourselves this weekend. Be safe. Be
I want to
cool.
see all those quarantine costumes.
Right.
It's a year for biohazard.
Yeah, that's going to be
Costumes.
the most overplayed costume
I think it is.
of the year.
I think it is.
Is just going to be,
That or political.
yeah.
I think those are going to be the top two.
Tune in next week
Yeah.
when we have, I believe, is this part 10?
I don't know
Is it
anymore.
part 10?
I'm
It's either
lost.
part 10 or next week will be part 10 when we're going to, I don't know. Maybe we should try something a little bit different next week that I'll talk to you off mic so we don't tease the people.
Right. So when we don't end up doing it, because I think it's a horrible idea.
If it's just not possible. So anyway, one way or the other, we'll talk about politics next week because it'll be the only thing to talk about.
It'll be a thing.
Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Write us a review on iTunes. That would be super helpful.
Thank you.
And until next time, he's Tucker.
He's Beard.
And we're out.